Hey guys, what's going on? Flipataku, and today we are finally doing the review for Dorohedoro. And man, after reading it the second time, I gotta say, this is a 10 out of 10 manga. This is one of the best mangas I've ever read, and this is the best finished manga of the last 5 years, in my personal opinion. Now, Dorohedoro is written and illustrated by Q Heishida, and what she has crafted here is one of the most grotesque, one of the most violent, one of the most gore-filled mangas, but also one of the most hilarious and upbeat mangas I've ever read. It's a very weird mix. So, it just finished. It took Kyuishi 18 years to finish writing this, and man, she's crafted something really, really special. So, in the world of Dorohedoro, there is the human world called the Hole, and there's also the sorcerer's world. Now, sorcerers tend to go to the Hole to practice their magic on humans, mostly killing them. And our two main characters are these two right here. We got Kaido and Kamen. And Kamen, the whole plot, the whole main story, the first initial plot is that Kamen wakes up. He doesn't remember who he is. He has a lizard head for a head, and there's a man inside his mouth. And every time he puts his mouth over a sorcerer, the man says, "You are not the one." And he goes, "What did the man in my mouth say to you?" And they always say, "You are not the one." And then he kills him. So he's trying to find the sorcerer that turned him into a lizard. And from there, we are introduced to one of the best worlds that manga has to offer. Kyuishida, so the sorcerer's world, it doesn't really dive into like the hierarchy of the human world, but the sorcerer's world is so fleshed out. The human world is very post-apocalyptic, so you can kind of just guess what it is, but she has created a world that is completely fleshed out. So in the sorcerer's world, there is a obvious hierarchy to the whole social system. There's sorcerers, there's devils. Sorcerers can ascend to become a devil, and it kind of dives into like what you have to do to become a devil, what it means to be a devil. There's not that many devils out there, and they tend to live forever. Now, there's also holidays, and so this whole world of the sorcerer's world feels like a real living place. And we're introduced to our first group of bad guys called the In family, or the Ein family. And now Ein, it's E-N, so I'm going to say In or Ein. I don't really know. Anyways, the Ein family is run by Ein, and he is one of the most powerful sorcerers who's not a devil in this world. He's pretty much like a mobster, and he might be my favorite character because he's so narcissistic, he's so full of himself, but he loves his family. He calls it the family, and that includes our other group of main characters. You got Noi, you got Shin, you got Ibisu, you got Judas Ear. You got these great characters, and they're all wrapped up. They all have their own unique powers. So, for instance, Shin so all the magic comes out of people's mouths and fingers, and it's smoke. It's called black smoke. And Shin's magic is that he can make people's body parts fall apart. He can basically dissect people and keep them alive. It's a really grotesque power to have. But also, Shin has some moral grounds. Even though he is a cleaner, he's one of Ein's cleaners. He goes around and kills people, but he has a moral code. He will not use magic on people who can't use magic. So he is a brute. He has a hammer, and he beats the shit out of people. Now, all the sorcerers wear masks, and these masks are designed for them by devils, and they give them special, like kind of like a buff. They give them a buff. There's Shin's partner Noi. She is this huge Amazon-like woman. She's like 7 feet tall. She's beautiful. She's ripped, and her magic is healing. And she's also a phenomenal fighter. She is a badass. She is one of the most badass characters in this manga. And then from there on, they are set up to be the main bad guys. But you get a lot of time with these characters. This is a 23-volume series, and as the series has progressed, the volumes have gotten insanely thick. I think this one was almost 400 pages for a single volume. And shouts out to Viz, they've kept the same price all the way through. But so from there on, you dive into the family, you dive into like how it works, Ein's mansion, how other sorcerers that aren't a part of the clique view Ein, and then you get into a group called the Cross Eyes. And right away, the Cross Eyes seem like such a small group that they aren't going to be a big part of the story, but man, are they one of the most important parts of the story. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but when you're reading, make sure you keep a close eye on the cross-eyed group, because there's a lot of stuff on my second read through that I noticed that kind of gets set up later on. And from there on, it just spirals and gets crazier and crazier and crazier. The stakes get higher and higher and higher. And right when you think you're going to get the answers, because there's so many questions, some answers don't get, some of the questions don't get answered. But overall, the way it ended, it made me really happy. There were a couple deaths that, a couple characters that I really liked that did die. But overall, I had a fantastic time reading this from start to finish. I was engrossed, and Q Ishida has crafted one of the most amazing manga experiences, in my personal opinion. Now, you guys know I've kind of complained about comedy in manga, especially in action manga and stuff that's really gruesome, but this world is so over the top, it's so goofy that the comedy fits right in. Now, like, literally there's jokes all over the place, and they are set up, the punchline is set up, and it's so great. Q is such a great writer. All the characters have very unique powers. They all blend together, and each character, even characters that don't get that much character development, like for instance, there's this cockroach named Johnson. He's a big cockroach, and he gets bigger and bigger and bigger as the books go on. Even he has a personality. Even the dog Judas's ear has a personality, which is, I think, just shows how talented she is. Because some of the side characters just get so fleshed out, and they have such great character development. I thought the Ein family was just going to be the main villains, but they ended up being my favorite characters of the entire series. So you sympathize with the bad guys, and at the end, people come together to conquer a greater evil, and it was just a blast. Especially the last 5 volumes, I was turning the pages as fast as I could. Guys, I don't know. This might be my favorite manga. Like, I'm so high on this series right now. I think this might be my favorite manga. I'm recording this right now. It's like 4 in the morning, almost 4 in the morning. And I can't stop thinking about this series. The devils are hilarious. And also, another thing is that at the end of each volume, there is there's an extra evil. All the chapters are called spells, and I believe in the foreign versions are called curses. But at the end of each volume, there is an extra evil chapter, and it's the only manga where I was looking forward to the extra chapter because it fleshed out a little bit of some of the characters that didn't get as much screen time, and it also was really, really funny. There's I think this volume, one of these volumes has a 4 extra chapter. Talking about the different TV stations that the devils watch, and it's really, really funny. This is one of the most grotesque, one of the most disgusting, violent mangas I've ever read, but it's also one of the most heartfelt and upbeat mangas I've ever read, and it's such a weird mixture. Again, guys, I can't gush. There's nothing that I can complain about. The art style is right up my alley. Maybe if I did have to nitpick, early on, Kuishida's art, she didn't really know how to draw the human anatomy, but as time goes on, she does get a lot better. It's so much fun, guys. Go pick this up. There's an anime coming out. So before the anime got announced, I was a little worried that this was going to go out of print because this doesn't seem like a series. I don't see a lot of people talking about this. Base Senpai says this is one of the most underrated and overrated because not a lot of people are picking it up and talking about it, but the people that have read it are just head over heels in love with it, and I am one of those people. But go pick this up. The anime's coming out. I'm a little hesitant because Cayman's head is going to be all CG, so I don't know how that's going to look the entire time. But I can't wait to see Curse. If you guys have read it, I can't wait to see Curse animated. Like, some of those scenes are just, oh man, it's so good. There's a couple characters that, like, I don't get unsettled feeling. Like, I don't get, not scared, but like this unsettling feeling very easily. And there's a couple characters, the way they're drawn. Professor Kusakabe, towards the end of the series, if you guys have read it, you know what I'm talking about. The way he's drawn and the way he's treated at the end definitely made me feel a little on the inside. But guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. This is one of the best mangas I've ever read. And I don't know if it's just because I'm so high on it right now, but this might overtake Berserk as my all-time favorite manga. This has definitely beat out Gantz. So it's tied right now. I love this series. So many characters, like, like for instance, there's a hospital, there's a hospital in the human world, and there's a guy called the professor, and he was married to a devil, and their relationship is so funny, and you don't get a lot of it, but the parts that you do get of it are just hysterical. So guys, go pick this up. 23 volumes long. uh, One of the best mangas I've ever read. I don't know what else to say. I'm gushing about it because this is seriously one of the best reads in a very long time. 23 volumes is a lot to get through, but I breezed through it pretty quickly. And anyways, guys, I'm Flipataku. Happy Halloween, and let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And if this is your first time here, please comment, subscribe. If I get the 3K by the end of the year, I want to hit 3.5K, but if I get the 3K, I'm going to be doing a giveaway, and it's going to be a pretty substantial giveaway. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for all the support, and I'll see you guys next time.